So in today's video, we are going to seriously improve your impact, your quality of strike, and we're going to do it with no swing thoughts whatsoever. So that sounds pretty good, right? Being able to hit the irons more solid, striking them better on the golf course, hitting them further, hitting them more consistently, and doing all that without any swing thoughts whatsoever. Well, that is possible, and we're going to run you through a 4-stage process which anybody can do during practice, which will, I guarantee you, help your ball striking if you can add this into your practice. Now you'll notice down on the ground here, I've got 3 golf balls set up along a white line that I've just drawn on the ground. In order to draw that, I just used some, this is actually strike spray, and you can use this to, you've probably seen me do it before, where you mark the club face and hit shots, but you can also spray it onto the ground and it's just painted a white line, and we're going to use that for this training exercise. So the idea here is to progress through 4 stages. The stage 1 would be kind of the starting point, obviously, and then stage 4 would be going through to full shots, and really starting to look at what is the task, setting a task and trying to achieve that task, as opposed to actually thinking about where is the golf club, where is my arm, where is my weight. Because if we can achieve the task, it pretty much means we've done all those things before that, but we don't have those swing thoughts. So this video is going to be great for any of you out there who really feel you struggle with swing thoughts. You know, it's a pretty short space of time, you know, from setup to impact, it's not a long time, and it's not easy to add in 2 to 3 swing thoughts. So if you feel like you're someone who's tried to think about your golf swing before and it's not ended well, this is going to be a great one for you. So stage 1 is feeling impact. If we're trying to get any golfer to achieve a different position at impact, it's probably a good idea that we start off by giving them some awareness of what that actually is. What does that feel like? And for many, even this stage 1 is a little bit of a kind of eureka light bulb moment where it starts to get them possibly for the first time ever to kind of sense what impact would be. Now it is important, before we get into this, we are talking predominantly about the iron clubs here. This wouldn't really work with the driver, but it's going to be great for all your iron clubs. So I'm going to set myself up with the sole of the golf club onto the white line and take my normal address position. Now the little exercise here, stage 1, is to try and find some resistance from the golf club through our setup. So at the moment, if I move the club head towards the target, no resistance. Away from the target, no resistance. Up, no resistance. And if I had to push the club down, I feel a little bit of resistance there. But what I'd love you to do is keep your head in the same place, push your hips forward so the weight's on the lead side, start to rotate the body and start to move the handle forwards. So I've got head centered, hips forward, hands forward, body rotated. From here, if I tried to move the club towards the target, I now have some resistance. You can see how I'm able to bend that club shaft, and I could scrape that golf club along the ground pretty much to the point where it's level with my big toe, my lead foot, about there, and then it'll come off the ground. So my golf club wants to be in contact with the ground from that line forward by maybe 5 to 6 inches. And we know that that's what the best players do. They will hit the golf ball, their club will then continue going into the ground, and that's why we see, you know, all the best ball strikers taking divots after the ball. That's exactly how they do it. So this is stage number 1. This is what I call feel impact. Take a starting position, find a position where you create some resistance from the ground, and then just move the golf club along the ground, trying to bend the club shaft. And then once you feel it's releasing from the ground, allow your body to follow. And you can see I've created this really nice structured kind of post-impact position where my body's rotated, my arms are structured. And obviously, because the way we did that drill, the contact in the ground was target side of that white line. That was stage number 1. Stage number 2 is to do the same little exercise, but actually hit a shot, actually put a movement there and actually let the golf ball get in the way. So if I took my setup to this first ball, I'm going to create my impact, and then I'm going to just make a backswing and then just rotate through and still trying to achieve this same position. My focus here, however, is trying to get the golf club to land pretty much on that white line. That's the key. I'm trying to actually think a little bit more about the ground, a little bit less about the ball. I'm trying to control where my club lands, as opposed to where I'm trying to hit the ball on the club. So that would look a little bit like this. And these shots are going to go very, very short distance and very, very low. So take my address, find my impact. That would be where I would like to be. And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a little movement on it and just get that golf club to land on that white line. Okay, there's my structured end position. ball flight was low, club landed on the white line. That is stage number 2. It's starting to create the impact and then just starting to train that golf club landing in the right place and starting to think a little bit more about where the club is landing as opposed to the golf ball and where it's being struck. That brings on to stage 3. Stage 3 would be now where we have to take a normal address, make a pretty short backswing, so maybe only halfway. The goal is the same. The goal is to get my golf club to land on that white line and have my golf club strike the ground after the ball. But this time, because of my natural neutral starting position, once I've made my little backswing, I have to now move into that position. But this is where the kind of, almost the clever bit of this little exercise comes in. Because of stage 1, where we kind of created what that impact would feel like, we're really just trying to recreate a feel here. We're not really trying to think technically about what your weight is doing or what your arms are doing, what your hands are doing. We're just trying to sort of create an awareness of a impact and then trying to make a little short swing and return to that position. It's very difficult to do that if you've never had any awareness of where impact should be. And for many of you watching this who really struggle with ball striking, you may well have never ever felt that solid impact. So stage number 3 is, can I take a normal address, make a little half swing and move into that position where I can strike the line. Okay, notice how the ball has traveled a little further. It's gone a little higher. I maybe have rotated a little bit further through. The club has maybe traveled a little bit further. But again, my club landed on that white line. I did that correctly. I've taken a divot, but the divot was in the right place. That's the key message. Stage number 4. Pretty sure you can guess where we're going with this one. This is just where we add the speed. So I'm going to go ahead and do a full swing, but still trying to achieve the same goal. And again, rotation is still there. Club has obviously traveled a little further due to the extra speed. But again, you can see just where my club has landed. It's landed actually just after that line. So I've struck the golf ball. My club has moved into the ground. And the only way I can do that is by having my body positioned in such a way that we did in stage 1. Now, moving from stage 1 to stage 4 and doing one shot at each of those stages is not going to transform your ball striking. If you really struggle, stage number 1 you can do at home. You can do that almost 5 minutes a day. Just really start to understand and feel what impact is. You can then progress on to stage 2, stage 3 and stage 4. So take your time. Don't rush through this process. Take a little bit more awareness, create a bit more awareness in your practice. Start to create some good understanding of what you're doing. Trying to go what we call deep practice, where you're really thinking about it. But use those 4 exercises in practice. Use that chalk, spray that line, get that feedback, think a little bit more about the task. And it's a really, really good way to develop your ball striking. Unfortunately, this is not a quick fix. This is something which you need to add into your practice going forward each session. But you will absolutely 100% see the benefits of that if you can. Really hope that video was helpful. Would love to hear your comments down below. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, there is a link in the corner. It is absolutely free. I'd love you to be part of the community. I really believe these videos can help you play some better golf. And I'd love to see you back here again soon for another video.